So this question is to all of you. We have discussed what is an option or what are options. We have also discussed what are the futures. We have also understood that the futures and the options can be used for the purpose of covering the risk. Now that we have understood what is a future or what is an option and how these can be used for covering the risk for risk management, I want to give you a small situation and I would like all of you to give me the answer. So there is a company called Kellogg, and as you all know, Kellogg is in the business of making कॉर्नफ्लेक जो हम दूध में मिक्स करके खाते हैं, कॉर्नफ्लेक. Now and as a cornflake manufacturing company, Kellogg has a risk. What is the risk? The risk is that to be in business, they need to continuously get supply of corn from time to time from the farmers. If they do not get the supply, then what will happen? They will have no raw material, they will not be able to produce, and they will be out of the business. Then you have a farmer. Now farmer, he is growing corn in his fields. Now he also has a risk. What is the risk? The risk is that when the crop is ready, if there are no buyers, then his crop will rot and he will have no cash flow and he will have to famish. So he also has a risk. So my question to all of you, and I would like all of you to respond to this case study that I am discussing with you. In this situation, how the futures can be made use of, or how the forward can be made use of, or how the option can be made use of to cover the risk. So this is the question. Let any one of you, all of you answer quickly.
So I think the Kellogg will enter into a forward contract with the farmer, because I think future they won't be able to do it because it is for the stock exchange only.
Very good.
So only forward contract they can look for, and they will enter into an agreement like so we will purchasing so much metric ton of raw material from you at such a so and so price, and even if the price in future gets down, we will pay you the agreed price, so that the farmer also gets secured about it, and farmer will also make a commitment that we will be able to provide you so much ton of raw material at a continuous supply. So in this, by entering the forward contract, they both will mitigate the risk, and the price will be agreed upfront between both the parties.
Very good. Varun, would you like to repeat the same thing in your own words?
Can I, Dev, crystallize the purchase
yes,
price,
Devang, please.
cost price for the future supplies? So
Go ahead, Devang, go ahead. Yes, Devang, please go ahead.
yeah, both have secured the position of buying and selling, so they don't have to look for the market, and they're assured of that inflow and outflow of material and money in both cases. So they both have secured their future.
Right, absolutely. Varun?
I think Varun's mic is not working.
Okay.
Check.
All right, okay. No worries. So that's right. So what they will do, the farmer and Kellogg, they will enter into a forward contract, and as per the forward contract, the farmer will have the obligation to sell his crop whenever it's ready to Kellogg. As a consequence, he will have a right to receive a payment consideration for sale of this crop, corn, to Kellogg. Likewise, Kellogg will have a right to purchase corn from the farmer, and Kellogg will also have an obligation, and the obligation is to pay the amount of consideration to the farmer for the purchase of this corn. So you can see here, This is an example of forward contract. Now in this forward contract, it is known as a zero value. Please always remember, because there can be a question that forwards are zero value. Why is that so? That they will give you some options. And why forward is a zero value? Because when this forward contract is being signed between Kellogg and the farmer, please remember, nobody is giving any premium to anyone. So neither the farmer is giving some amount to Kellogg for signing the forward contract, nor Kellogg is paying any premium to farmer for this particular transaction. So that's why the forwards are also known as zero value at the time of the signing of the contract. And you can see here, both of them have a right, both of them have an obligation. And so this is how the forwards are used for the purpose of the risk management. Now you can notice here that this contract, which is signed between Kellogg and the farmer, is a customized one. It's a customized one. The quantity वो दोनों के हिसाब से है, और कभी सप्लाई होगी वो डेट भी दोनों के हिसाब से है, किस प्राइस पर ट्रांजैक्शन होगा वो भी दोनों के हिसाब से है, वो दोनों पार्टियों के हिसाब से है. So that is why forward contracts are always customized. They are customized as per the needs of the parties concerned. And they are also known as OTC, over the counter. So किसान और Kellogg एक टेबल पे मिलके बैठ के बात करेंगे और डिसाइड करेंगे कि भाई ये अपनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, ये अपनी डीलिंग है, और ये अपना फॉरवर्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, ये अपना एग्रीमेंट है. Now same thing is also available on the stock exchanges. So on the commodities exchanges, you will have the futures or in different commodities. So those futures, unlike in case of this contract, forward contract between the farmer and the Kellogg, those futures are standardized in nature. उनका size क्या है, उनकी settlement date क्या है, so right, और उनकी delivery क्या है, और वो सारा everything is standardized. So on the commodity stock exchange, if you go, you can buy these futures which are available in the standard format, standard structure. So that is the only difference between between the forward contract and the futures at this point in time. एक और चीज याद रखिए, in case of forward contract there is a counterparty risk. In case of forward contract there is a counterparty risk. What is the counterparty risk? कल को अगर फार्मर बेईमान हो जाए, Kellogg is in trouble. कल को Kellogg बेईमान हो जाए, for whatever reason, farmer is in trouble. So there is a counterparty risk. In case if the counterparty fails to fulfill their obligation, then the first party may be in difficulty. So that is your counterparty risk. In case of futures, there is no counterparty risk. And why there is no counterparty risk? Because the exchange will stand as a counterparty. Exchange will stand as a guarantor. So when I am buying a future on, let's say, BSE or NSE or any company, the future that I am buying is being sold to me by someone which is sitting on the other side somewhere. But I do not know who that someone is. And I do not have to worry about as to who that someone is, because I do not have to go for execution of my future from him. For me, who is important is the exchange. So if I am doing the transaction on NSE, NSE is standing as a third party guarantor. If I am doing the transaction on BSE, then BSE is standing as a third party guarantor. That means they are taking the responsibility. Whatever may happen to the counterparty, I do not have to worry about. The NSE or BSE will take care of my the commitment that the counterparty has made to me. And please remember, for this purpose, what the NSE will do, what the BSE will do, they have a system of margin. They have a system of margin. And remember, the system of margin is quite systematically designed. So that means what? That means when you enter into a future contract on NSE or BSE, you will have to first pay an initial margin. So that initial margin will depend from stock to stock, and that is decided by the exchanges. It can be 20%, 30%, 25% or whatever, depending on the different stock. So that margin will have to be kept. Plus, they have something which is known as mark to market. mark to market. That means what? That means suppose if I have taken a long future on let's say Atlas cycle. So if I have taken a long future on Atlas cycle, so when I purchase the long future on Atlas cycle, obviously at that time automatically my account will be debited by the amount of margin, initial margin, which is to be placed with the exchanges for this purpose. Now tomorrow, if I have, and please pay attention, I have bought a long future on Atlas cycle. So that means I am expecting the price to go up. If the price has gone down, that means I am in loss. So whatever is the loss that I have incurred, up some, for example, अगर मैंने I'm just giving it as an example. Suppose if I bought the future on Atlas cycle for 1,000 rupees, and the spot price of Atlas cycle has come down to 900 rupees. So that means what? That means on this future, I have incurred a loss of 100 rupees. So immediately on that day, my account will be debited by 100 rupees per share for on the future that I have bought. Suppose on the third day, if Atlas cycle has gone up to 1,000, then what will happen? This 100 rupees that was debited to me will again be credited to me in my account. Suppose Atlas cycle has again gone up to 1100 rupees. Again on the fourth day, 100 rupees will be credited to my account, and this is known as mark to markup. So please remember, in case of derivatives, the stock exchange will stand as a third party, and they will take the responsibility of the obligations of your counterparty. So you do not have to worry about. To ensure that they don't get into a trouble, what they do, they have a system of margin. All right, so good. With this we can move forward, unless you have a question. Anyone, any doubt on this, please? Any doubt, anyone?
No.
Okay, good. Anil?
No, sir, no.
Good.
Please carry on.